What's going on, guys? Rubber Games here, more Fallout 3, A Tale of Two Wastelands, and last episode when we left off we completed a side quest called Those. It's actually quite a fun quest and has quite a nice ending to it as well, potentially. But this episode we're just going to be carrying on with the main story and meeting up with the scientists in Rivet City. Now we've rescued our dad to carry on his work. But something to point out is that in between episodes I did go and repair some of our equipment and get rid of a bunch of junk as well that we were carrying around that I had no use for. But other than that, our loadout hasn't changed or anything like that.
Any trouble in this area?
I told you it would work, Madison, and now I can prove it.
James, you're back.
And with good news. I was right about Brawn and the Gek. If we can find one, we can adapt it to work with the purifiers.
I'd like to believe you, James. I really would. This is all just so sudden.
Madison, I'm telling you, this is real. I talked to Brawn himself. He confirmed it. Don't you see? This is what we've been waiting for.
I don't know, James. So many years have passed. Is it really still worth trying?
How could it not be worth improving the lives of everyone in the Wasteland? What could be a more worthy endeavor?
You haven't lost any of your passion, have you, James?
It's as important to me as ever, Madison. I know it's important to you too. Let's finish it together.
James, we don't have a Gek. I can get a small team together, but we'll need proof that it works before people believe us.
I know, I was thinking about that. The lab at the facility had some old pre-war computers that we scavenged. One of them might be useful.
From the last reports, there's no power at the facility. Even if one of those computers had a database, we couldn't access it.
That's why we're going to head over there right now and get things up and running as best we can.
You know, if it were anyone else asking me to do this, I'd have them run right out of Rivet City.
And you know I wouldn't be here if I didn't think this would really work. It's time, Madison.
Damn you, James. When this is all over, you owe me a drink. I'll get the team together.
Thank you, Madison. It's good to be working with you again. Is everything all right? We need to get back to Project Purity. The computer there is our best chance to locate a Gek. It'll be good to work side by side with you, son.
You found him? I can't believe it! You have my thanks. We would be lost without James. So you did. I apologize for entertaining the thought of doubting you. I have faith in your father. With the knowledge he's gained, we stand a better chance than we ever have. Farewell.
Chief Harkness has vanished.
Nobody knows what happened to him.
I heard Danvers has his job now. It's a tough job. I wouldn't want it.
Mention Harkness there. Fortunately we know what happened to him. All the scientists make their way over to Project Purity, and it can take them a little while to get over there, which is a bit annoying. But we can just fast travel there to Jefferson Memorial. To make sure just to take out any of the enemies. But it should still be clear from when we first came here, when we were tracking down our dad. Which is good, so then we can just wait until everyone makes their way over here.
Hey.
We can't accomplish anything until we can get inside. But none of us are particularly capable fighters. I hate to ask you to put yourself in harm's way, but you seem to have learned to handle yourself. I need you to go in and make sure it's safe for Dr. Lee and her crew. Be careful.
So it's quite funny. Oh, as soon as you rescue him, he puts you in harm's way. And bearing in mind he did manage to pick up an assault rifle, or assault carbine, on his way over to Rivet City, he could do it himself. Similarly to last time we were here though, we do have to be careful and watch out for crashes. So if you see me quick saving quite a lot, that'll be why. But just as before, everywhere should be clear, except from down in the lower levels.
Humans who? Kill the humans! Kill them all! Oh. That good one!
Super Mutants telling a joke there. Quite funny. They do actually have quite a lot of sort of quite interesting interactions with each other.
I am at a loss. My beloved wife is gone. In her place is my son, small and helpless. As much as this place means to me, as much as it meant to Catherine, this is no place for an infant, especially an infant without his mother. It's time to go. The project was in trouble before, both internally and externally. Progress has come to a halt, both because our recalculations have gotten us nowhere, and because the mutant attacks occur several times a day. I regret that it has come to this. I know that if I leave, our work may come to an end. Madison has never been on the best of terms with the Brotherhood. Aside from Scribe Rothschild, she'll tolerate none of them. If she's the one dealing with them, who knows what will happen? It breaks my heart to go. But I must put the needs of my child before my own.
Doesn't surprise me that the Brotherhood don't like Dr. Lee. She's quite a irritating person. Fortunately, we're going to have to interrupt this guy's moonwalking. No idea what he was trying to do or where he was trying to go. That Overlord did have a fire axe. Very powerful melee weapon. And one thing that I did forget to say in between episodes is getting rid of all our grenades that we have in our inventory that we don't need. There's always a guy in the corner here by himself. Very easy one to miss that. Just going to clear that corner message.
So, here I am, back where it all began. Project Purity. God, we wanted to change the world. We really thought that waters of life could be a reality. And that's why this is a momentous occasion. Because even after 19 years, I still believe it. Project Purity can and will be operational. This is just the beginning. This is day 2 of my attempt to resurrect this project. I've got one of the portable fusion generators up and running, but it's just enough to power the emergency lighting and a system. So for now, I'm powering up the mainframe. Time to visit Madison at Rivet City.
So this group of logs is from when your dad comes back to
I
Project
spoke with
Purity.
Dr. Lee, Madison, at Rivet City. It went about as well as I expected. That is to say, she thinks I'm completely mad. How can I blame her? She's got her own life, her own team, and is making real, tangible scientific progress. Here I come again, a very paragon of failure and false promises. But the reality is, I need Madison and whatever scientific team she may have assembled. I can't do this myself. Project Purity is bigger than me. It always was. And without Catherine, God, I can't let this die. Not again. Not like this. Well, here we are again. Project Purity and me. It's been close to 20 years since my last entry, since I left all of this behind to make a life for my son. We've spent that time in Vault 101, tucked away from the rest of the world. It wasn't perfect, but it was safe. And that's all I could have hoped for. Now, my son is a grown man. Handsome, intelligent, confident. Just like his old man. And as hard as it was to admit it, he doesn't need his daddy anymore.
That batch of tests was inconclusive, but Madison and I are convinced it's a problem with the secondary filtration system. We're going to recalibrate the equipment and try again tomorrow, so that... James, please. I'm trying to work. Now's not the time. So that's the next step. Assuming we get the results we need, we'll move on to... James! Stop! I need to finish these notes. We'll move on to diagnosing the issues with the radiation dampeners. That should... Ow! James! Now? We really shouldn't.
Obviously, James and your mum being a bit naughty probably has something to do with how you came about.
Hey.
Are you all right? Is it safe in there? I'm proud of you. Now let's get in there.
So you can talk to Dad, get more information from him, but from what I remember, he doesn't really offer that many sort of insights or, you know, useful bits of information that really give things a deeper meaning or anything.
Be careful, Mike.
So we're just gonna wait an hour so everyone gets to where they need to go.
Yes?
Here's one of the most annoying quests of the game.
Here we are. We're at Revelation 21:6. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give unto him that is athirst of the fountain of the water of life freely. Don't you see? This is what it all means. The water, the purifier. This is the water of life. Your mother's dream. No point in wasting time. Let's get to work. There's much to be done.
So we need to remember the number 21:6. It will come up later on. But we're just going to ask him what he needs us doing right now.
The project was abandoned shortly after you were born. Things have deteriorated here since then, and there's been some flooding. I'll need you to get to the flood control pumps and activate them so we can clear out the water and reach the mainframe. The automatic doors sealed when the flooding occurred, so you'll have to use the access tunnels to reach the pumps.
Did you need something?
And yeah, this is probably, like I said, one of the most annoying quests in the game. It's just a fetch quest, but it's really badly designed. You have to go running down here where we were clearing out the super mutants and activate the power
Great work on the
switch.
pumps. Hurry back, and I'll give you the fuses again.
And then you need to run back to your dad to get an item and then come back to this lower section. Which is funny because then later on you can talk to him on a speaker to get the next stage of the quest rather than having to run back to your dad. So they knew what they were doing,
Did you need something?
but still chose to make things a bit annoying for you. A lot better with the fact that you can sprint.
I've been hearing good things about you. Is it true? Did you really disarm the bomb in Megaton? I'm very proud of you, even though you put yourself in harm's way. Just please be careful out there. This is a dangerous world. Far more dangerous than anyone in that vault knows. Right. The flooding shorted out some of the fuse boxes downstairs, including one that controls some of the automatic doors. Here, take these fuses. The box is back down in the sub-basement near the eastern end of the level. Once the fuses are replaced, you'll be able to get to the mainframe.
Yeah, it's not too bad with the fact that we can sprint. And if you want, you could turn your sprint speed right up. You can get back and forth very quickly. But I do remember it was quite painful back in Fallout 3 with the vanilla movement speed. Yeah, just this fuse box
With the
here.
fuses in place, you should be able to access the mainframe. No need to come back to the control room. Just head straight there.
That's what I mean. He just gives you the next step through the speaker. It's quite funny.
Well, you've done it. It'll just be a few minutes until we can access the mainframe. Use the intercom so I can tell you where to go next. There are a few minor repairs still to be made up here in the control room. Why don't you come back here and give me a hand? Actually, wait. There's one other thing I need you to do. Janice says there's a blockage in one of the intake pipes. It's on your way back. Head back up to the museum level and give me a call on the intercom when you get there.
So again, thankfully, he does just give you the next step. There isn't much loot here though.
Hey.
And that just involves running back to basically where you came in. At the other end of the corridor. There's a drainage chamber you can enter. And I'm going to wait till daytime. Just to make this next bit a bit clearer. But all we have to do is activate these pipe controls.
All right, everyone. You should be able to hear me now. We've restored power to the mainframe, which is coming online now. There's a lot of deterioration in the pipes and some damage to the substructure. But it's nothing we can't fix. Once the mainframe is online, we'll be able to access the database and hopefully learn where we can find a GEC. I'd like to thank you all for returning to this project after so many years. I know some of you thought, like me, that this day would never come. We have a singular opportunity here. A chance to make the Wasteland a better place for all. Everyone, listen. It seems we have some visitors. I don't know who they are or what they want. Please, everyone, remain in your assigned areas while we get this enclave. What are they doing here? Where? Madison, lock the door.
So this is our first proper introduction of the Enclave, which is the main sort of enemy faction within Fallout 3 as the story progresses. They're quite cool, and I think there is a very slight chance to run into them before this point in the game, but there is the Enclave radio that you would have heard, the iBots broadcasting around the Wasteland, and this is that faction. We're going to want to put our stealth armor again. And the Enclave are relatively tough. They do have pretty decent armor on them. But with the fact that we're a little bit overpowered and our weapon selection, we should be okay. See, HP is quite high. The damage threshold isn't actually that high on their helmet. Damage resistance is very high as well. If you manage to stay in stealth, they're not too bad. They tend to have energy weapons on them as well. If you get lucky, they tend to have quite a lot of mods on them. The armor is pretty good. The Hellfire armor is definitely quite cool. Got very high item condition. You can see the damage resistance there is ridiculous. Damage threshold is very high on the body as well. The helmet doesn't have great damage threshold, but damage resistance is quite high as well. So very powerful set of armor. And I think the helmet looks a bit weird, but the body armor looks really cool. This guy's got some Tesla armor. It looks quite cool. It's got like neon tubes in the back. And in Tale of Two Wastelands, the Fallout 3 power armor that the Enclave wear is called the advanced version of the armor, so it does have better stats. And then the version that you could find in Fallout New Vegas is just known as the regular Enclave armor. So it's quite cool that they managed to get everything together and it all sort of makes sense. But the Tesla armor was probably the best armor in base Fallout 3, I think. Very high damage protection, and you can see in Tale of Two Wastelands it has a very high damage threshold, but it doesn't have the damage resistance that the Hellfire armor has. So if you prefer having a bit more damage resistance, I'd go for the Hellfire armor. But it does, one, it does look really, really cool, and two, it does give you that nice energy resistance, energy weapons, and resistance bonus. It does look quite cool. A little bit steampunk, I think, in a way.
By the authority of the President, this facility is now under United States government control.
Why would he lock me out?
The person in charge is to step forward immediately and turn over all materials related to this project.
That's quite impossible. This is a private project. The Enclave has no authority here. I'm going to have to ask you to leave at once.
Am I to assume, sir, that you are in charge?
Yes, I'm responsible for this project.
Then I repeat, sir, that you are hereby instructed to immediately hand over all materials related to the purifier.
I'm sorry, but that's...
Furthermore, you are to assist Enclave scientists in assuming control of the administration and operation of this facility at once.
Colonel. Is it, Colonel? I'm sorry, but the facility is not operational. It never has been. I'm afraid you're wasting your time here.
Sir, this is the last time I am going to repeat myself. Stand down at once and turn over control of this facility.
Colonel, I assure you that this facility will not function. We have never been able to successfully replicate test results.
I suggest you comply immediately, sir, in order to prevent any more incidents. Are we clear?
Yes, Colonel. I'll do whatever you want. There's no need for more violence.
Then you will immediately hand over all materials related to this project and aid us in making it operational at once.
Very well. Give me a few moments to bring the system online.
James, this is wrong. You can't do this.
Madison, please. Now's not the time. I'll get the information the Colonel needs, but I need you to...
I won't help you do this, James, not after everything it took to get here.
I need you to monitor the output levels on pumps 3 and 4. Please, step over to the panel and keep an eye on them, will you?
What? What are you talking about? That doesn't even make sense.
Madison, please. It's very important that you do this right now. Just step over to the panel while I access the computer in the control booth.
James,
Please, just monitor the pumps.
Enough of these delays.
Almost ready. I'm compiling the data now. Run. Run!
Yeah, it's quite funny. I think they were going for a bit of a, Star Trek thing where, depending on the film, either Spock or Captain Kirk goes into the reactor. It's all quite cheesy thanks to the famous Bethesda scripting. And then obviously we've got Dr. Lily there being an absolute idiot, not realising that James is trying to save her life by getting her to sort of step away and be safe. But something interesting you can do here is if you step against the bulkhead, which you can't open, you can access Colonel Autumn's inventory, and a lot of the time you can access your dad's as well. Saves you having to use console commands to get their items. I'm sure there's probably a way of sort of pickpocketing your dad or his equipment, clothes or anything he's wearing. For this point. Doesn't seem like we can get our old man stuff, so I'm just going to click through, just because I can't remember exactly what it is that I had on him. Yeah, he does have his Wasteland outfit. There is Colonel Autumn's uniform. But, yeah, it looks pretty cool overall. And there's Dad's Wasteland outfit, just like a really grubby Volt jumpsuit, I think. And there is Colonel Autumn's 10mm pistol. and not quite sure what that effect is. This has been changed up because of the 10mm and Friends mods that we've got, so it'll be interesting how it's different.
Sir, searching for targets.
We can't actually get it out at the moment.
He's gone. We have to get out of here. They'll be coming for us next. We've got to evacuate now. We used an old abandoned tunnel as an escape route once before, many years ago. Everyone should know how to find it. We need to get there right now. Let's go.
So there are other speech options there, but it's just results in Madison being not very nice. But here is Colonel Autumn's pistol. We don't seem to be getting the 10mm and Friends skin. It's a bit annoying. And yeah, it's the plasma pistol, and that is from the 10mm and Friends. So I'll have to have a look to see why the weapon texture from that mod isn't working. But we'll have a look at that in between episodes. But looking at how long this episode has been, and considering this is a bit of a safe area, there isn't actually any sort of time constraints. And like I said, I want to get this fixed. I think now is quite a good place to wrap this episode up, and then next episode we'll obviously finish this quest and escape Project Purity. Now the Enclave are here. It's quite interesting as well because it does change the world state and some new things become available to us, and Enclave will start appearing in the Wasteland, which is really, really cool and makes it a much more dangerous place. But then there is that opportunity to get their equipment and also their experience. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed this episode and been enjoying the series so far. If you have been enjoying the series, please like and subscribe for more, and then that way you won't miss out on anything. Also, any mods that I've mentioned throughout the video will be linked down in the description below, so you guys can try them out for yourself. But thanks again for watching. Always appreciate having you guys here, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode.